All right, so today's video, we are watching a Silver 2 DPS on PC playing with a controller on Genji. And they say, hello, Sully. I'm stuck in Silver and wish to learn the secret of hard carrying. I know I play super aggressively, but it's because I have games where no one on the enemy team dies unless I force an engagement and try to solo kill them all. I feel like the only reason we won this is because my teammates actually did stuff, and if they were terrible, I couldn't have done it on my own. Okay, so I know I've talked recently a lot about playmaking, but remember, playmaking's all about time playmaking, not force going into their backline. But we'll find out. Let's see. To discovers team play. I actually think that's what Crap put in the description. Teamwork. Okay, I mean, this is going high ground, taking a little bit of map control. I'm okay with this for now. This is fine. Well, this isn't console. This is PC. They just play on a controller. Does that make sense? You're bad to play it on? I mean, play whatever you want on. It's all preference. But whenever it comes to, like, your setup, a lot of the time people are going to be like, oh, do this, etc. But, like, a lot of the time it really is preference. Like, people have, like, some of the craziest setups you'll see, some of the most, like, chill setups you'll see. Just play what's the best for you. Now, obviously, if you play on 85,000 DPI on 900 sensitivity, yeah, it might be a bit of a problem, but hey, if it works for you, right? Now, obviously, getting, like, recommendations on things is different, though. Right? So far, this is fine. I mean, you're kind of going into, the team. You're not over-aggressing too much. You're playing it pretty safe. Not overextending. So, yeah, so far, it's been fine. I don't really... We'll have to see. Let's see how it goes. But so far, I don't really have anything, like, too aggressive yet here. I mean, I think you're doing what you need to do. Just to show people what I mean, like, maybe, okay, so sometimes people might be watching me and saying, like, oh, you're doing what you need to do here, and I don't really over-explain it. Maybe I should. So what they're doing good on Genji right now, and why this is a good play, is they're not overfeeding, right? You're not trying to dive into the Soldier 76 and just get in the limb. Also, did you notice they changed, like, this cave to be a little bit more shiny? Did anybody notice that? Like, or not the cave, but, like, the underneath, like, hallway here? You see this? Like, they made it recently. I just needed to show that. Second of all, so what they're doing right here is, again, not overfeeding, but they're doing pressure. And this is what people call off angles. Again, it's a very, like, tight off angle here, but, like, it makes sense. So if you look here at the off angle that this Genji's taken, the Genji's in a spot where you put pressure on the other team. If they don't look at you, you do a bunch of damage. If they look at you, that now pulls pressure away from your teammates. And then if they really go for you, you can dash away to safety. Do you see what I'm saying? So when I talk about or mention, like, oh, you're doing everything right, or you're doing, I don't have an issue with this or what you're doing, maybe I need to explain that sometimes more in my spectating so you can understand why I'm saying that. And that is why we're doing that. So far, you're playing Genji fine. You're not overextending to get kills, but you're still putting enough pressure on them that they have to worry about you, that if they do look away from you, you'll make plays. Anyway. So. You could blade this. I'd wait a little bit, though. Maybe it works. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it helps when a Mercy runs into your team with Valve. So, yeah, at first I'm like, oh, be careful because of this and that, and then the Mercy flew into you. So, you're good. Now, I don't know how easy it is to, like... You can definitely jump a bit more during your blade, too. Try not to, like, run in a straight line on the ground. That, like... Yes, that works there, but that's going to get you killed sometimes, especially as you climb more and more. Just be careful of that. Because you weren't even, like, using, like, your dash reset correctly with it, or, like, going up into the air, or jumping around, making it harder to hit you. Things like that can be very useful later on. So far, though, I like your aggression. I think either way, you're not playing it too bad. Little things. And I think so far, so good. I love how they're in the spectating. We're still on the discussion about thread from before we started the spectating. To give context to people in the YouTube comments that'll watch the video, they're talking about bread and sugar. There you go. That's the context to this. All right, here we go. I'll be honest with you, I didn't zone here, but as I'm talking about that, everything seemed fine here. They had ults on their team. You're fine. You're getting out, surviving. Again, I think, like, taking more early map control there is probably what you go with. So, Like taking more map control after you win the team fight, or like can get map control, but I think you had lost 2 after you tapped the point, so it made it hard to do that. Okay, let's see what happens here. Rank is silver 2 on PC, but they play on controller. Now this is where I want to kind of show what I mean by like taking off angles or being too aggressive. Is like this isn't even an off angle anymore. You're just in their team, and I guess like there's a philosophy here of you're down a bunch of players, so you go for the kill. I'm okay with that, but I do want you to be careful of doing that when you're in like a 5v5. Just want to kind of get you in the habit of like, yeah, you're going for trades here. It's like a 2v what? 2v5, 2v4. 2v4. So like at this point, getting a kill is going to benefit your team because like the people coming back will benefit from that. So I get that. So I just want to make sure you don't do that in a 5v5 because sometimes that's how you're going to fall over. I wish I could. I want to find an example of it, but we'll see. So taking an angle a little bit ahead of your team. I want you to remember this. Thankfully, the Mercy is standing still, bottom left. Still, I gotta give you credit on the way you're off angle, and it's what you would want to see. You're not playing right in front of them like you're playing Cassidy. You're okay. Let's see how this blade goes. They got one. I mean, again, I want that rock by Sigma. The reason why they rock you there is because you're not really. Whenever I go up against a Genji with a good blade, they're not gonna run like in a straight line on the low ground. Like you're gonna, not even low ground, they're gonna use like their movement, their mobility, the ability to double jump, the ability to go up into the air. That was a great rock by the Sigma, don't get me wrong, but like that is easily preventable if you're using your mobility. So that's one thing I can certainly say you can improve on is that when you blade, you definitely want to use your movement more because as you climb, you're gonna get shut down way more on that blade. Right now, you're getting away with it, but I do think you're going to get at a point soon where you're just going to fall over during those blades. Thanks. But again, I mean, the off angles have been wonderful. I think it's a good example of not. I always say play the hero you're playing, and not play like another hero's play style. I don't say it like that specifically. That'd be kind of an interesting quote, but it's more along the lines of if you're playing Genji, don't play Genji like Cassidy. And so far, you've done the good job of playing Genji like Genji. That's the first step. That's the first step. And you're doing that part in a way that I like. Enough to where like I can't like be like, don't, you know, go and do this. Like, you know, but yeah, anyway. Back to spawn you go, probably just to get HP. Okay, this is a good topic of discussion now, because I'm curious on people's thoughts on this too. Do you think that the healing passive is too long now? So like, it used to be 5 seconds, I think, and now they've made it 6 seconds, and there's just something about that 6-second timing for me personally that feels like a second. It feels like literally they had a sweet spot at 5 seconds. It feels like now at 6 seconds, it feels like you're waiting too long. And I know it's a 1 second difference, but sometimes that makes a difference. There's just something that feels weird about the 6 seconds now. Maybe I just get used to it, right? Maybe I just seem to get used to it. And like maybe I got used to it before with the 5 seconds, but I just feel like the 5 seconds was such a good sweet spot that I wouldn't want to take it. I don't know. That I think that it was a good spot to where you don't feel like you're out of a team fight for too long, and that you also feel like you're more involved. Because you also want to remember they made it so like it doesn't heal for a ton, so I don't know. Anyway, I think like I would love for them to go back to the 5 seconds. But I'm curious on people's thoughts on that one too. Keep in mind, just because my opinion of that is it should be 5 seconds, if you feel like it should be six seconds, I'm okay if that's the case. I'm not going to be mad at you if you disagree with that. Like that's not how that works, right? I'm not going to be like, oh, what do you mean? Right, so anyway. Okay, let's keep it going here. You got the perk where you do the damage on the dash. It's fine. I actually, chat, believe it or not, I don't mind this blade at all. And I want to explain why. I think keeping momentum in games is really key. And sometimes, even though, like, yes, you use your ults. And like, listen, if we're going down to, like, the what would we do in top 500, once you get the first, like, kill or two there, you're going to save your ultimate. You're going to, like, be good to go. You don't need a blade there. You know you're not going to have to blade. But in a silver game, I feel like one of the #1 things I've seen a lot of time is that teams give up momentum very easily. By not hitting their buttons. So it generally turns into everybody uses their ult at once in like this ult domino fashion, or like they use an ultimate will be used in this like really like weird spot that doesn't make much sense. Your ult there kept the momentum going. So I think that the retakes become really hard in a lot of ranks where like it's not easy to retake here because everybody's just going to slam out of the doorway anyway. So point being is I didn't mind the momentum. I would have reacted to the soldier a little bit sooner there. I remember the soldier can still shoot at you there. But I do like keeping momentum because it makes everything they do reactive. And if you look right now, what they've done is reactive. This was on you for missing the health pack. That health pack might have made a difference there. But I did like that you took the off angle top left. But anyway, I don't know. That's just my discussion on momentum. I like when momentum's kept there. Now, if you wanted to really play that correctly, you save your blade off of those initial kills, then you blade them as they come out of the doorways. But in a silver game, I think that's going to be okay. Keeping momentum. Anyway. Correct decision here, by the way. I'm not much of a Genji connoisseur from like 1v1s, but I actually think there's a world where you save your deflect on that one. I make that mistake sometimes too on Genji, where that Sojourn, if I recall, I'm just gonna do it for the sake of this. Like, I don't think they had the charge shot yet, so you have a timing where you can maybe delay it to like really get them to shoot. Like, so whenever I play against a Genji, if the Genji doesn't use deflect right away on me, sometimes it gets really confusing. Does that make sense? Where like, I'm like, why aren't they deflecting? Do they have deflect? And then that's when I start to shoot a little bit more. And then the Genji deflects and I fall over or like I do more damage. So I do think there's a world where like you, in that 1v1, you played a little bit differently with your deflect. Like make it a mind game almost. Not enough to where they kill you, but enough to where like they're going, wait a second, why are they not blocking this? You know what I mean? Anyway. Good job by your team here. Good job. I don't know if I'm wrong or right on this one, but like I feel like that was, for a silver 2 Genji, that was a fairly clean half out of you. Not perfect, keep that in mind. I'm not saying it was a perfect half out of you, but it wasn't bad either. Like it was like, you're doing a lot of the right things. There's a couple mistakes you obviously made, but like it wasn't bad. But again, this game has a lot longer to it, so maybe we start to see like a different way you approach defense. Remember, chat, advice I always have for defense, okay? You ready? You can play defense the way that you play attack. Straight up. You don't have to just sit there and either like stand on the cart or not go for map control. You can play aggressive. Like if you're Genji here and think about this, if you're Genji, you want to play the same way in defense. You want to go in their back line a little bit. You want to play pressure. You want to get off angle. So we want to see more of the same on this half. Sometimes players will go from playing a Genji on attack, right? Go playing Genji on attack, and they're doing all these backline pressures and going for off angles. And you go to defense, and you're playing the Genji version of Cassidy. You're just sitting there going, yay! Like, remember, keep that same like style and play going on defense. Just, you can be a little bit safer with it if you need to be. Like, don't like go to their spawn right now and die here, right? But like, definitely look for approaches on high grounds. You know, deny leg angles, things like that. Fawcett, thanks for the 27 months of tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Actually, I'll give you a perfect example of that in a second. A little bit too aggro here. Again, I just remember like sometimes you don't want to use all your cooldowns, even though it seems right. Like an example would be denying this space right here, right? Everybody wants, in pretty much any rank, if you can get this part of the map control, you're in a really good spot because you can take away the whole side of the map. So like being Genji up here, like denying that space, right? You can slowly deny that space back up, but it gives them a lot of time. It basically prepares your team for them being aggressive up there. Again, it's a silver game, so they may not go for the high ground as much, but the point still stands. Like that, if they don't take away that spot, then you can sit up there and have a good angle. That situation, I think you just were almost too teammate reliant there. Like you had the opportunity to dash out of there, grab a health back underneath, go somewhere else. Instead, you rotated in the middle of the map. You don't want to do that. Not so fast. So that is a classic thing that every rank, everybody does in Overwatch. Sometimes you go into like kind of that auto, just run to the point type of thing. Just wait on your team. All right, just wait on your team. Wait on everybody to get there. Play it that way, and you'll be in a good spot. All right? So, sounds good. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by. So, yeah, anyway. Why is the Genji not spamming I need healing while standing in front of the entire team? I know, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Good call. I'll have to bring that up. can go for the Genji. You're good. Or the Zen. You're good. Yeah, nice job. But yeah, just try not to like run back to the point is the point I was trying to make. Like, as in like, teamwork is key. Don't just keep running back to the point by yourself. And I think it wasn't that you necessarily went by yourself, but you were way ahead of your team and you didn't check back. So just scan for your teammates occasionally. That's an interesting one, because like, I get concerned that if you don't get the kill there, they get you, and it almost happens. So careful on your... If you're going to get a kill, you got to guarantee you're going to get it on those dashes. And I think that the HP was just below that threshold. Your Ramatra went too aggressive there. Falls over. You don't really have an option now without trying to trade. Or get out. But... this is fine. Yeah, get out. Play to survive. Yeah. Just get out. Get out, get out, get out. I know you want to touch point, but I want you to think about the timing of your team. Okay.
I am restored.
No, you're good. You're good. I was going to say you could have went for it, but then you lost your Ana. I'd rather you maintain the door control here with your blade. Don't give a free kill here because it's one of... Okay, so this is a rough play by you. So I want you to understand on any map, the last thing you want to do, especially on defense, is give them the ability to snowball your team. And one of the ways to do that is to basically, after they capture the point, give them free kills. They need to earn these limbs. And that was not one they had to earn. They just got that for free. You get nothing going out of this doorway. The point's already captured. You need to basically play very similar on an angle, but like maybe here, right? And the reason why you play here is because your teammates are established up here, so you create these off angles again. That's not an off angle. That's just playing too aggressive. I really do think that like you need to remember, especially. Why do I say X? Especially. I'm getting better at pronouncing it correctly because Lonnie did the bingo card. When you have the team just caps the doors. You just don't want to give that to them for free. Now your teammates are in like a 3v5. You go from having a nano blade, or at least at the very worst, like, truthfully, a great play by your Pharah. Like, your Pharah, you are right. Your teammates did make up for your play there. One thing I will say here is a lot of Genjis are going to get caught in this. Can we get Zen ult out? Can we get Zen ult out? This might be one of those rare situations where you actually need to... Not rare situations, it happens more often than you think, but I think you just blade this to get ults out. Or you have your Ana Nano Ramatra to get ults out. Like, there needs to be one way to get ults out here, and the combo of Nano Blade probably isn't the ideal strat, unless you see, like here, there's a window here. You see the Zen. Okay, never mind. Ignore everything we just said there, because now you can just blade for free. Now you just Nano Blade. Your blades need some work. You are... I will admit, your blades need more movement to them. Like, you're just walking in a straight line on the ground. I want to see, like, you dash. I want to see you move around the map more. Like, you definitely need to be better with your blades. I think your blades, or you're getting away with them now, but I think you want to start getting in the good habit of that now rather than later. A little bit more, like, using the dash into the air, using the movement to get around them. Anyway, just one of the... I will... That is something you'll definitely need to work with. Yep, you can go for the... nope, never mind. Once the Mercy's there, you don't go for the Soldier. Like, with the dash, it is. Sigma... okay. You gotta trade now, or just get out. Probably trade. Just trade. Play a trade. Yep. Good job. You and your Ana did a good job there. In these situations, chat, as long as you get the kill, and like even if they res it, you got res out, right? They won't have res it. Yeah, no, I think that they would just get rolled on Genji still there. Yeah. Can you still hit this in the Ana during the ultimate?
This ends now.
I think you can do damage to him still, because you can hear the sound of like an Ana shot hit him. It just won't do any damage. Does that make sense? Like, you're not going to do damage to him, but like you can still hear the sounds of doing damage to him. I think that's how it works. Yeah. They got the payload, but like, again, this is one of those, like, you're kind of doing what you need to do. You're playing really good angles, and like, you just kind of, if you dash to the point, you go down anyway, so you pick up a couple kills, maybe it helps with the retake, right? Okay, now I'm trying to think of the math here. If you Nano Blade during a Zen ultimate, how much damage does Blade do nanoed? Because technically, Zenyatta ult during your Blade would heal for 280, right? Keep in mind, I'm accounting for the DPS passive, which is 30% now, and it heals for 400, so I think it's 280, right? So, I'm trying to think, would you be able to kill through Zen ult still if you get nanoed? I just forgot how much damage it does with Blade Because there's also a world where you can do that too. So, but yeah, anyway. I just don't know the exact math on it now. Yeah, that's fine. Don't need to nano Genji. Wait on the Moira out, and then you can blaze. I mean, again, great blades. Just got to get the movement going on those. That's it. And it's not like you need to right now, but I want to get you out of that habit of that earlier, so that way it doesn't become a problem when you're getting like into more of like when you start to climb more. Because I actually, I don't know if anybody else is getting the same vibe on this one, but you should climb. I think you'll climb. I think that like you've already gotten some of the basic fundamentals down. That doesn't include like just like the aim and mechanics. Like you're doing some really good things that I don't see a lot in Silver recently, of like just taking an off angle, recognizing like your like the ins and outs of where to go. Like you've done a fairly decent job of that for a Silver game. So I think it's not like if you'll climb, it's when you'll climb, and let's get you kind of in those habits earlier, so that way when you do climb, you're not getting stuck for a bit on that one, you know? So I don't know, that's how I'm seeing it though.
60 seconds.
Yep. Here you go. Watch out behind you. Lost the health pack, so I wouldn't peek him. Yeah, you might be in a weird spot. You got out, though. You survived it. Going to the spawn doors. Your spawn door is completely... Like, your spawn was... you went to get your health back, but wherever this is, that's your HP threshold. So, like, I think you thought you had to go deeper into spawn to get healed. Nope, you're good. Right here. This is like your threshold on that one. You're fine. See? This is like your threshold at that point. You're good. Anyway. Back to the Genji. Probably won't matter on points, so... You know, an okay half out of you. I think, again, it's just like the little things. And I think that that's easily fixable. But you're doing a lot of good things. And I do want to point that out, that we'll probably see that during... When people watch the spectating, is that, like... You're doing a lot of good plays. It wasn't, no, I think he thought he had to go deeper into spawn. Just remember, like, it's right where that thing is. That didn't seem like a tilt. That just seemed like a, oh, I'm gonna go get healed in spawn doors, and thought you had to go further. You got the absolute classic of the spawn doors. Yep. Again, this is what I mean. This is good. Like, this is taking an angle. It's on overextending. They're gonna have to look at you, and if they look at you, it helps your teammates elsewhere at the angle. Now you see the soldier. You don't overcommit. If you hit a couple shots and you feel like the soldier's low, you can get the kill. If not, you do that. So, yep, I think you saw the same thing that I saw, that the soldier's going to be a little bit out of position there. The dash there is, like, okay, because you have the safety of backing up. So, anyway. Just wait now. You still have time. You don't need to go to the point specifically yet. You have 8 seconds, so... Ooh, you're in an unlucky spot here with that Sojourn there. Yeah, someone else has to tap. By the way, chat, if anybody's like, oh, why didn't you go to the point there? If the Genji even goes to the point there, I think they fall over. The only option you have is to maybe go into the cave, but they already had control of that too. So that's one of those going back to spawn to heal up, and it just didn't go in as planned. Approach. Playing a little bit closer now to buy some time. Off angle's looking good to me. We're playing cover. I mean, this is solid Genji game. I do think that you'll still have to go into playmaker mode more if you want to continuously climb. But I think you have the right idea. Now it's about just kind of knowing the timings of when to make a play off of that. Good job by your Lucio to get a boot there, so it's a trade. Kind of your opportunity to get a kill there. Kind of split now, too, so you can maybe... Morino fade. Actually, I think Mori dove your Ana. Ooh, I think you went... Oh, your Ana won that. Okay, this is a bit of a slight mistake there because I think you were so concentrated on the cart that you kind of lost track of what was happening. That Moira, you saw the Moira's, like, animation go behind you. Next time, go and help your Ana. So that way, like, look at your Ana's HP, by the way. Like, your Ana clutched that. Like, there was a very high chance the Moira could get that kill. Thankfully, your Ana made a cool play because she got the headshot perk there. Next time, try to help your Ana there because you're going to have plenty of time. And think about this. If you kill the Moira, you're going to have a dash reset anyway because every time you get a kill as Genji, that's what gives you a dash reset. So if you're afraid of that, you're going to get back in time, and it's going to be a little bit of a closer or a better experience for your team. Anyway, see how this goes. Here we go. Wait for it. And you have Nano Blade. Don't be afraid to like get nanoed early with like because your dash will give it to you. You ready? Now go in the air. Heck it. Good nano. And it looks like your team gets the win. And you were right. This is a team effort. You had a solid team who it felt like when the teamwork mattered, your team popped off and won. And yeah, good job. Overall, solid play. Got to work on those blades. I know that you were getting kills with them, but you'll see what I'm talking about. I think you definitely need to work on the blades. From just a mechanical side of that, good off angles, pick up on what we mentioned to you, and I think you'll be good, straight up. Remember, you don't have to, like, stagger to point, things like that, but overall, like, it was a good example of how you can play Genji in Silver. A little bit more playmaking, all that, but overall, pick up on what we mentioned, and I think you'll keep climbing. So it was fun to watch. Good job. Well played. Well played. You got this. You absolutely got this. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't, leave a comment. All that helps. If you want to submit your own Spectating on my Discord, that's where you do that. And if you want to watch more of these, we're going to have a video pop up below, so watch them. They're fun. They're good. Enjoy. With that being said, hope you all have an amazing day /night.